Hey y'all! I hope you're doing really well wherever you are in this now moment. I wanted to hop on here to share something about non attachment. So, non attachment is the practice of not attaching, you know, um, not attaching to outcomes, not attaching to relationships, not attaching to stuff and things, not attaching. Um, Not to be confused with detachment, totally other topic. Something that just came in as I was recording a spirituality offering for a nonprofit that I do work with, which is called Promise Resource Network. You can follow them and support them if you want. Any hoozles. So, something that really came in that I just wanted to share briefly is about the challenge potentially of practicing non attachment through trauma responses. So, most of us, have lived through traumas. Some of us have lived through more than others. Yay! And we will form unhealthy attachments to stuff and things. So, for example, I used to be really attached to drugs, to alcohol, to money, to sex, to really unhealthy relationships. I used to be so attached to so many things so that I would, feel love or lovable or worthy of love. And as I started to practice non attachment, I realized that for me, I went into the realm of detachment, where I was like completely detached. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care about anything. I'm atheist. Fuck yourself. Meh. Not quite the way non attachment works. And so, over my years of practice, I've really realized that non attachment through trauma responses is not easy. It's not easy. So, when we are in a trauma response, if we are in the trauma response of fighting, right? Fight, fawn, freeze. Ugh, too many F's for me. Anyway, but if we're in the fight trauma response, we are attached to being right. Right? If you say something to me and I'm attached to being right, I'm going to fight you for it. Right? I'm going to argue. I'm going to bring out my fists or whatever. And that is a form of attachment, right? I'm attached to being right. And if I am non-attached, then I'm not responding in the trauma response way. I'm not going to fight. If I am in the freeze trauma response, I am attached to the actual trauma itself. The trauma itself has frozen me in place and I can't move through it. I'm attached to that trauma. That trauma may have happened 5 seconds ago, 5 minutes ago, 5 years ago, right? So many times we'll be stuck in stagnation. That is a form of attachment to stagnation, to not moving, not growing, not evolving, not looking inward, not making a change, not creating. That's a form of attachment, attachment. The trauma response of fleeing, right? That's what I did. I completely fleed. I was like, deuces, peace out. I mean, I've done all of them, don't get me wrong. But the trauma response of fleeing is a form of attachment to, it's a form of detachment, which is not non-attachment. Detachment is heartless. Non-attachment is heartful, because non-attachment is not attaching to any of the stuff and things outside of myself, and rather being full of the emptiness of the love that is that the I am is. It's being in the flow of life. It's letting life flow through me. It's me being life itself, being led by life. I'm not attached to the outcome. I'm just in the being state. That's non-attachment. And then the trauma response of fawning. The example that came up was if your mother, right? Say your mother wore a certain perfume, looked a certain way, and whatever, and treated you unkindly, told you were stupid or a piece of shit or whatever, right? And then anytime a woman comes around who maybe smells like her, looks like her, sounds like her, acts like her, you subconsciously are fawning over her, oh, let me get you some water. How can I do for you? And da 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 da. And we do that with so many things. We will fawn. And it's because we're attached to the fear that if we don't we don't want them to treat us and harm us again. We don't want them to treat us the same way or harm us again. We don't want to be re-traumatized. So we will kind of like put the horse before the car, put the horse before the cart, and like, I'm going to fawn all over you so that you don't hurt me anymore. And we'll do this to strangers. We do this to people that remind us of those. We do this to abusers a lot. And so fawning in a trauma response, whether the trauma is in the now happening or if it's triggering or activating a subconscious program of a traumatic experience, we are not in non-attachment. We will actually be living attached to that trauma and just soothing it over and over again, as opposed to just letting this person that reminds you of, say, your mother in this example, let her come in, she does her thing, you give her love like you do everybody else, peace out. And so this, I think, is coming in because we are moving, into this timeline of massive non-attachment to so much stuff, non-attachment to ideas that others need to take care of us, non-attachment to our homes, non-attachment to the jobs that we've had, the relationships that we've had, moving into deep sense of non-attachment to the physical body, because our physical bodies are changing and they are going to be changing even more. I see people all the time that are attached to youth. They're getting their fake eyelashes, they're covering up their gray, no judgment. People do these things. Getting all the fillers and the Botox, and like everything is more plasticized. Next thing you know, they don't look old, and they should look. Then they look like AI. Like they don't look like a human, but they don't have any wrinkles, right? And it's like that will not sustain. These forms of attachment will not sustain us for the rate of evolution that we're moving through. Today, we are getting a massive influx of solar storms. The amount of X-ray energy is coming in like, what? It's nuts. But that's on another topic. So that changes us on a cellular level. Now, if I am so attached to having hair, right? If I'm the person that's like, oh, look at me, oh, my hair, right? Then one day it's going to fall out, right? And I want to be like, oh, fuck, and then I'm like in a whole heap of mess because I've been so attached to something, although it's a part of me, outside of myself for me to feel good. We're moving into this timeline to, I feel, really, 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 but for real though, practice non-attachment. To be able to let anything and everything go. And not from a place of, I don't care, but in a place of like, I am whole, I am complete, I am love, I am loved, I am loving, and all is well. And then everything that we need is going to like come to us, just because that is also physics. So non-attachment is one practice, right? And if, like I said in the beginning, like if you have not had many or any traumas, everybody's had some traumas, but if you haven't had a lot, like non-attachment is probably going to be really easy for you. Like if you've lived like the Buddhic life, like when Buddha was a baby and a kid, like non-attachment might be easy. I don't know. That wasn't the life that I lived. So for me, practicing non-attachment, recognizing, oh, this is actually a trauma response, allows me to become present, let my higher self or the voice of reason or truth come in and rectify, realign, recalculate to re-navigate my now moment so that I can not be attached, especially through a trauma response. I feel that anything that we're doing that's from a low frequency, a heavier density consciousness, it's all from a trauma response. It's all from a trauma response. And I just really hadn't thought about the practice of non-attachment in relationship to trauma responses until today. Because last night I was like, this is just like coming in like trauma response, like non-attachment, like what? So like, yeah, that's a thing that I really wanted to just briefly drop in about. So my encouragement to kind of navigate through this is to breathe, become present, let you acknowledge what you're experiencing. Check in with you. It takes a check-in, right? Like I call my homies and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. What's up? Or give them a little text. Hey, been on my mind. Hope all is well. Do that with you, right? So take a breath. Oh, I see a big ass hawk. I love it. Big one. Y'all, the birds have been like full force flockage of Wea all up in my backyard today. That's another story. But breathe, check in with you and ask you like, how am I doing? Am I attaching to anything? Like, what am I attaching to now, right? No judgment, just kind of really checking in. Am I attached to the outcome of the next event that I hold? Am I attached to the way someone's going to perceive me? Am I attached to this relationship? Am I attached to the way this relationship makes me feel? Am I attached to anything? Can I recognize it without any judgment whatsoever? And then can I let my higher self, my spirit self, my ascended aspect come in as this voice of reason and truth and say, well, that's okay. Like, you're safe. It's okay to let that go. More is coming to you if you release that. And you're in the cycle of nature where there will be death. There will be death of your body and of this relationship and of the event that you're going to have, because everything has a birth and a life and a death and a rebirth. And the voice of reason is going to bring me back into the now moment when I can actually fully practice non-attachment. If we are focusing and practicing for real, though, in the frequency of non-attachment, we are holding a higher frequency. We're holding a peaceful frequency. The peaceful frequency to me is like the bucket that all the other really yummy ingredients are going to go in. And to me, the other really yummy ingredients that are going to go in that are like the frequency and consciousness of like ecstasy and bliss and of pleasure. But if I'm not peaceful, those ingredients, those frequencies, those consciousnesses won't be able to land and let them be really fully integrated and experienced by me. So please, the encouragement, especially as we're moving through this eclipse coming up this weekend, these solar flares that are happening, the activity on the sun is amplifying so much. Please, the encouragement is to practice non-attachment. Just like release it all, surrender it all, be like, okay, I don't need anything. I got it. I'm totally taken care of. And I have everything I need. Like, I am so abundant. Like, surrender into non-attachment. And these transitions will be not only easier on the mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, the entire quantum field that you are legit vibing in, but it'll make it more fun. It'll make it more delicious. It'll make it more tantalizing and more pleasing and just so much more delightful. Like it just will. But if I'm attached to, something I did in the past, like, but I was a piece of shit and I used to steal and I'm never going to be forgiven, I'm going to go to hell. Ugh. That's going to make the evolution and ascension of what we are frequencying, the way our frequencies are shifting, it's going to make that real uncomfortable. But for real, like it really is. If I'm attached to the outcome, like, how am I going to retire? Am I going to have enough money when I retire? How am I going to do this? How am I going to navigate that? That's not here now. I am not remotely easeful and I'm attached to something that's not right now, attached to your breath, attached to your body, not in a like, I need to change it, just like in like a loving way. And also remember that it is temporary. This breath is temporary because as soon as you fill up with the inhale, you're going to be exhaling. When that one gets complete, guess what? Next breath is going to come in until you're done, right? So please, the big like cosmic, do you hear that? They are doing some big construction. Anyway, the big like, please listen to this cosmic message from the universe is non-attachment. And just having the awareness that a lot of times that we unhealthily attach or detach is from a trauma response, and give ourselves like a shit ton of grace and compassion for the human who experienced the traumas and maybe is still continuing to move through traumatic experiences, and still be able to come back inward into the now moment. This is where it is. It's always in this now. Just please come back to now, non-attachment, and surrender into some big trust pool. Like trust fall into like the cosmic waters. Big encouragement. So I love you so much. I hope that you enjoy this day, enjoy these nows, keep breathing, and know how loved you are. And I will see you soon. If this resonated, please like click the little button that says subscribe. Share this with anyone that you think may be of service. That would just help out like the world. Or maybe just like one other human. And I'm not attached. So like if you don't, that's okay. But it is a request. So I love you and I'll see you soon. Peace out, y'all. Bye.